Steve Eng letter to his parents. Sunday afternoon, dear mother and father. The news from California leaves me at a loss. I should like to write that it shocked me, but I must confess I was resigned to it many months ago. More important to me was and is the fact of grandmother's life, and how fruitful and worthwhile it was. You, mother, and Lois and Alpha, whom her demise must have affected so much more than the rest of us, must congratulate yourselves that she was your mother. She was a rare person. More moving to me was the tragedy of the unintentional mishandling of things, but that was the best be forgot. I hope you will be happy to know I now possess a six-shot German revolver, circa 1870, which works, though they no longer manufacture pinfire ammunition for such pistols. A minute sketch. Its purchase was financed by one of my hoodlum friends who broke my Scottish dagger by throwing into the floorboards of my room. The gun only cost about $4, a third of its value in the USA. A gun collecting friend of ours. I am reading the Summing Up by Somerset Maugham and finding it very good, packed as it is with literary advice, as well as candid remarks about his life and friends. And I can never forget myself. I've never felt even some of the most fundamental emotions of normal men. I've also read some of Nietzsche in my spare time. 6 weeks' exams are at last over. I did not even go to bed Thursday night, so I'm beginning to live like a normal individual again. The upstate returns aren't in yet, but I may be getting several C's. There are over 30 of us going up to the dorm councils Monday night. 5 of us are in the dock for Indian wrestling after quiet hour, but there are a number of other offenders, people who are late, drunk, singing in the halls, etc. It will be very crowded. No opportunity for German since my regular studies are not receiving attention. I am reading Mickey Mouse comic books. Mouse spelled in German. There are stories about Uncle Donald and his nephews. I'm afraid I don't want the National Geo again. For birthday, I want 33 and 1/3 RPM album Buddy Holly, if the PX has it. Also, Cakes and Nails, Moon and 6D, or Of Human Bondage, or Money, as there aren't books I need to buy. Clothing is all right, vitamins not exhausted. That is quite something about Judy G. and her family. Bob tells me Daddy has edited Thoreau's letters, though I haven't seen the reviews, has gotten his poems printed in London and is about to commence a lecture tour. In speech class, we had to speak at an interesting corner of Europe, so I discoursed 5 minutes on red lights, jazz, espresso bars, and the literary associations of the infamous square mile north of Piccadilly. Speech teacher, however, knows London, so he plied me with sly questions after my talk. He said sarcastically that to walk down a Soho street is an education in itself. Agreed. Girl I know's father talked with Presley at football game, did not learn till after it was over who he was. I should like to meet him. I imagine the Royal Society was interesting, Pup. I recall that they had a special interest, via the illustrious Sir Joseph Banks, in the Bounty's voyage and the need for the Tahitian dictionary. I don't know how much I started with. I hope you mailed my letters as instructed. The checks represented the remainder of my allowance, plus Maxine's money. I did not overdraw my spending money. I have to eat now. Love, Steve. I have been invited to one John Riley's home in Frankfurt over Thanksgiving. It will cost about $10 for the train fare. I would like him to come to London over Christmas, but I don't know if he can. Que pensez-vous?